Good morning, good people. I had something else on my heart and my mind to give to the people. Another thing I realized on my life journey is when you let nature be your chef, essentially you letting God be your chef. So thing I realized now, I've been plant-based for I want to say at least, if not exactly, going on 10 years now. And I noticed how it pretty much transformed me. I realized that when you let nature, or when you let God be your chef, not only, of course, do you increase your health and your strength and your energy and your vitality, but I realized you start to act like God. You start to think like God. You start to feel like God. Meaning, if we the small G to the big G, we the micro to the macro, you become more like God when you eat what God made, which is the stuff that's grown from the earth. You become more of a manifestor. You become more of a creator. You have the ability to bring things that's in your mind and in your heart and in your psyche into existence. I'm doing this video right here from my barbershop. I own a barbershop called Righteous Cuts. I've been here for 10 years now, and everything I'm saying, I'm not just speaking on these things because I'm trying to sound smart or it's nerdy, wordy, or whatever you want to call it. I'm speaking on real life application, stuff that I trial and error over the years that I realized it's a way that we are divinely designed to perform. We the only creature that God created that has the ability to grow food. We are literally manifestors. True meat eaters and people that eat things like that, or creatures that eat things like that, they built for it. They got the canine teeth. They got the acid in their saliva that breaks it down. They got the innate hunting ability, and they pretty much eat it raw, straight off the kill. Bones and all. Lions, tigers, bears. They built for that. We're literally, scientifically, divinely designed to eat things that's grown from the earth. We the small G to the big G. So we built to create things and manifest things, as well as our food. That was just really on my heart and on my mind to give out to the universe, man. It's a science behind how we gotta live in order to live to our fullest potential, and what we consume has a lot to do with that. And I realized I became more like God once I started to eat what God created. Once I started to eat the plants and the produce, it has information that is emitting and taken from the universe, from the soil that it comes from. So the more cleaner my temple and my mind and my heart and my psyche got, the more clearer my vision got, physically and my inner vision. I realized, like, wow, if I let God and nature be my chef, I'm becoming more like God. I'm starting to have the ability to manifest the things that I think of through my words, through my deeds, and the more cleaner and clearer I become, the more I realize that the more stronger my comprehension becomes, the more clearer I have a grasp on life, the more I get the signals that's being emitted from the universe to my psyche, because there's nothing blocking my gut. It's nothing blocking my vision from me being able to see and hear what the universe is putting in me to bring to life, So I realized that the same thing that blocks and clogs you up from a physical standpoint is the same thing that blocks and clogs you up from a mental and a spiritual and an emotional standpoint. So once you realize these things, I realize, food isn't the only consumption. So now I realize, you got to be careful what you feast your eyes on, you know, because that's food as well, what you looking at. That's why it's called feast your eyes, you know, or what you feast your ears on, you know, because that's food, you know, what you feast your company and surround your entity with, you know, that's food. You're observing and absorbing that energy. That's why a bad apple can spoil a barrel, because that bad apple can eat and rotten out the thriving apples. And it's the same way with a no good, you know, person. So, you know, when you're around energy that ain't no good, it can eat you alive. It can take away from your growth, you know, because we are all plants on this planet, you know. That's why if you take the E out of planet, you got the word plant, you know. And once you realize that, you start to live, you know, the way you divinely designed to live. Once you apply that to your life, you start to see how you grow and flourish, and you start to realize that our youth is our condition and it's not our number, you know. So once you understand that, you stop chanting certain mantras and slogans that's in the algorithm that they allow to be emitted to the masses, because a lot of it is self-destructive and self-defeating. Like when you say things like YOLO, it almost justifies not honoring your youth, because now you feel like, oh, with old age is inevitable. With 70 and 80, I'm gonna be old in anyway, so I might as well YOLO. When that's not true. Your youth is your condition. It's not your number. You know, it's like a car. You can have a 2025 that somebody done dogged and didn't take care of and it's old. Or you can have a 2019 that been getting the oil change and proper maintenance and it's still young, it's still youthful. And it's the same way with us as God's children. We are viable, replenishing, healing entities. You know, the same way you heal externally from a scar, you heal internally from a scar once you stop picking the scab. You know, a lot of times we picking scabs and don't even realize it. How you gonna heal when you putting artificial things in you? Every time you put something artificial that's not in harmony with your bio makeup, you're picking a scab internally. That's why it causes inflammation. That's why it causes mucus. That's why you hawking and you spitting and things like that. You're internally picking a scab. So once you understand these things, you realize like, yo, I can heal if I stop picking the scab. You picking the scab every time you put the grape in you, the grape soda in you instead of the grape. The grapes heal you. The grape soda, you picking the scab. The orange heal you. The orange soda, you picking the scab. The fresh air heals you. The hookah, the cigarettes, you picking the scab. So you can't heal. Water. Remember, we all plants on this planet. The same way water makes produce grow, it makes us grow. It flourishes it. It nourishes us. You healing yourself when you drink the water. You picking a scab when you drink the alcohol. Anything artificial and unnatural and that's not meant for us to divinely design to consume, you internally picking a scab. So if you want to heal, you know, you'll start to understand our ancestors. They didn't call it healthy. They called it heal thee, you know, because once you understand the word heal thee and how it's synonymous with healthy, and it originally was called heal thee, it wasn't called healthy, you start to understand like, damn, everything I do is literally healing me or the opposite. Hence why you got the word disease, which they originally called dis-ease. But any dis-ease can be brought to an ease with a heal thee or a healthy lifestyle. So your youth is your condition, it's not your number. I'm a barber now. I've been cutting hair for over 15, 16 years. Like I said, I own this shop, you know, Righteous Cuts, you know, for the last 10 years. And what I learned is, you know, just a little inspiration and motivation, you know, with the artwork. But what I learned is, I cut a lot of people that's 30 years old, and I cut a lot of people that's 70 years young. So that confirms what I'm saying, and it's directly connected to how they took care of themselves. You know, the 70 years young ones, they exercise 3 to 4 times a week. They eat right. They don't do drugs. You know, they don't do the things that ages them. But then the 30-year-old ones, they do the opposite. They You know what I mean? They overweight, they out of shape, they don't move around, they partying and drinking and smoking and eating fried chicken and all of these different things that ages you. So the point that I'm trying to make is, you know, your youth is your condition. It's not your number. Don't let this world finesse you into being a consumer to the hospital entities. Because you don't have to go to the hospital if you go to the farm, which is nature. The pharmacy, that's man. So when you're not in tune with how to live, you'll eventually be in a pharmacy. But God intended for us to go to the farm, you know, which is nature. Which is why I started this thing off by saying, you know, once you consume the way you divinely designed to consume, you let God and nature be your chef. It'll preserve you. It'll mature you. It'll ripen you. And it'll manifest you. It'll make you a manifestor and a creator. Because it's not causing blockages in the form of dis-ease, in the form of clogging your gut up with the processed, ultra-processed, artificial stuff. It clogs you up. And it undermines your vision. And it undermines your instinct and your intuition. Because the same thing that physically blocks and clogs, it also mentally and emotionally blocks and clogs. So, you know, if you want to be more in tune, fast, you know, get all of that out your system. And once you clean it out, you know, then you start to implement the things God created, the stuff that's grown from the earth. You'll begin to feel that way. You begin to think that way. You begin to act that way. You know, because optimum food, the stuff we divinely designed to consume, it makes us optimistic. Pessimistic food, the stuff that's out of sync and out of harmony with our nature, it makes you pessimistic. It causes depression. It causes hopelessness, despair. You know, it takes away your energy and your ambition, because ambition and nutrition go hand in hand. So if you want to be ambitious, you got to be nutritious. You got to eat what God divinely designed for us to consume, the stuff that's grown from the earth. I'm going to leave it right there. I just want y'all to think about it, man. I share because I care. And, you know, I want to dedicate this message to my sister, Latoya. You know, I love you. I'm here for you. And, you know, you always had my back. You always believed in me, you know. And, you know, your big brother here for you. I love you. I hope you see this and feel this. And this is the second episode of Mastermind Chronicles. You know, it's many more to come. I got a lot to say. I just want to heal. I just want this world to be what I want it to be, man. It breaks my heart to see people not living to their fullest potential, and it's directly connected to their confusion, because they feasting their eyes on stuff that's taking them out of tune with their self and their essence. You know, they feasting their ears on the wrong things. They putting the wrong things in their diet. They don't know how to, this what you consuming is affecting your spirit and your instinct and your intuition. Once you understand the spiritual elements and components and repercussions to not consuming what you divinely designed to consume, then you'll want to change. You start to understand and see things different. You start to realize the eyes is the windows to your soul. But they ain't tell you your eyelids is the curtains, because everything don't belong in your eyes. You eating that when you put it in your eyes. You know that little piece of skin right there on your ears? You don't supposed to let everything in your ears. That's getting in your spirit. That's getting in your heart. That's getting in your temple. The same way you don't let everything go in your mouth. So imagine if you got the mindset and you leave it all clean and clear and only put and feast your eyes on the things that's uplifting, that's enhancing and adoring. Like I said last video, a plus. Think about how you're going to start to add up the optimism and joy and peace and energy and clarity and certainty and sanity. Once you feast your eyes on the right things, feast your ears on the right things, feast your diet on the right things, I promise you it works. I promise you. And eventually you'll be like, hold up, man, I'm starting to see a couple dollars, man. But the compound interest of that, you keep it up, it's going to turn into a lot. And the only difference between a little bit and a lot is time. The only difference between $100 worth of progress and $1,000 worth of progress is time. They both easy. One just take longer. The $100, that take a week. The 1,000 might take a month. But if you can maintain your discipline and your focus and apply these principles, you know, as a lifestyle, you'll see. You know what I mean? Greater is what's in us than what's in this world, man. That's the truth. And the more cleaner and clearer you become, the stronger your discernment gets. I promise you. We supposed to have discernment, man, but you putting all these things that's blocking you from your instinct, your essence. Once you unplug from all of the things that's ungodly, man, your divinity start to surface, man. Don't let this enemy block your divinity, man. It's something in us all that's guiding us to victory, man. You don't see no bird going to bird school. Is already in the bird. The bird innately knows because he's not looking at CNN, ABC, all this weirdo indoctrination programming. He not eating now laters. He not eating anything that's artificial and unnatural. The same way with this gorilla, man. This gorilla know what to do. He not putting us indoctrinating stuff in his psyche and his temple. Man, listen, man. I could say so much more, but I gotta give y'all something to think about. I don't want to give it all to y'all at once, man. I remember this old school thing, man. I used to hear on the music when they used to be like, slow down, son, you killing them. I'm going to slow down. I don't want to kill you. I want to uplift you. Love, man. Mastermind. Love.